Tina koto, tina koto, tina tato katoa. Chancellor Trish Oakley, Deputy Vice-Chancellor Stuart Brock, Pro-Chancellor Brendan Boyle, Council members, academics, graduates, family and friends, it's a great honour to address you today. Congratulations to all the graduates on your special day. Today is the first day of the rest of your lives. Who knows what lies ahead for each and every one of you? Who amongst you will be in my position perhaps in 40 or 50 years' time, addressing the new graduates of 2065? Maybe it'll be you. I'm proud to have graduated from the University of Otago, ranked one of the top 200 universities in the world, with a long history of academic excellence, a high-quality student experience, and a beautiful campus. I'm truly privileged and humbled to have received an honorary degree today, and thank you, Orator Grace, for your very kind words. One of the purposes of the graduation address is to provide advice to guide you as you start on your new journey. One of my favourite quotations is from Nelson Mandela. What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is the difference that we have made to the lives of others. So then, moving forward, how can we make a difference to the lives of others? First, always acknowledge your family and friends. Many of them will have supported you in your journey to obtain a university education. How privileged I am that my granddaughter Anna and two long-standing close friends from Invercargill are in the audience today. Second, look for the good in everyone that you meet. Think now about someone you don't really like. Maybe they talk too much, drink too much, are overbearing with their ideas. Go ahead now and identify their strengths. They may be struggling with issues about which you are completely unaware. Remember that everyone has their own unique gifts and abilities. Maybe you can be a little kinder to them when next you meet them. Third, respect difference and treat everyone as an equal. When I completed my medical degree, I trained in paediatrics. I began working with children with disabilities. These young people and their families have taught me far more than I could have ever anticipated. Can you imagine what it's like to have a child with a disability? Some of you might have already experienced this firsthand. You might have a brother or a sister or a cousin or a friend with a disability. Everyone expects that perfect child. When this doesn't happen, parents experience anger, disappointment, and grief. And above all, why did this happen to me? I worked at the very tough end, often with young people who had no prospect of walking or talking. I learned how much joy these children can both experience and give. I also learned how parents show great courage and amazing care in looking after their children. Learn to recognize the abilities and strengths in everyone you meet. There'll be many people with less academic abilities than you, many who did not finish school, let alone complete a university degree. Respect them and recognize that knowledge takes many forms. We learn best through listening to others. Remember, we share a common humanity, regardless of colour, sex, race, or religion. Use your education to promote justice and equity for all. Fourth, be bold in accepting challenges and grasping opportunities. This is essential if you're to truly make a difference. Whichever direction you choose, there'll be difficulties and failures along the way. I have faced many professional and personal challenges, far too numerous to mention them all, or else we would be here all day, but I'll talk about a few of them. And I can assure you, many times I didn't deal with them all that well. At school and university, I was desperately shy, which sounds perhaps a little strange as I stand before you today. Then as a medical student, there were only a few women in my medical class. In those days, no one blinked an eye when lecturers openly debated the ability of women to have worthwhile medical careers. In fact, it was suggested we would never practice medicine, but our only futures would lie in being wives and mothers. We seemed to have to prove ourselves each and every day. This cohort of determined and capable women has remained connected, and we've met several times since then. They've made a huge contribution to medicine over many decades, most working full-time in addition to raising families. When I became a consultant at a major teaching hospital, there were very few females in senior roles. There were many battles to be faced. My department seemed to be up for review more often than any others. I wonder why. I often lack confidence. Great leadership is not an innate gift. Everybody has the potential to be an exceptional leader. You just have to be willing and committed, consistent in showing up when it's inconvenient, and lending a hand with sometimes the most mundane of tasks. Quoting from Mandela again, it's better to lead from behind and to put others in front. It wasn't only as a student and hospital doctor that I faced challenges. In my third year out from university, I was then about 25 years of age. I was a ship's doctor aboard a cargo vessel with 12 very elderly passengers. They were in their 60s and 70s, which doesn't seem that old now, and about 53 crew, mostly very young men. I thought on the long voyage of over 6 weeks that the elderly passengers would give me a lot of trouble with their chronic health issues. In fact, it was the crew who lined up to check me out within the first few days of the long voyage. I will leave it to you to guess what their presenting complaints might have been. As a newcomer in Australia at about 28 years of age, I had no idea about camping in the bush, and on my first camping trip, I turned up in high heels and a short skirt. In fact, I think it was a white skirt instead of jeans and boots. And then I nearly got drowned pretending I knew how to canoe when I got caught up upside down fallen trees in a fast-flowing river. I should have admitted that I just didn't know how to canoe. Remember to acknowledge when you don't know an answer or even how to do something. It could save your life. Now I'm taking up new challenges. I gave up clinical work a few years ago to focus on research. With my colleagues, we write applications for grants so that we can improve outcomes for people with cerebral palsy. Most applications we write are unsuccessful. we actually fail, but we celebrate the few that are successful. We know that it's important to keep trying, as the work that will result will make a difference. Never put off for tomorrow opportunities that you can take up today. Life is very short, as you will discover as you get older. Every day is a new gift and a new opportunity. Each one of you has the capacity to lead a significant life. Your efforts in obtaining tertiary qualifications will enable you to take up various careers, be they as teachers or scientists or whatever role you take up. And your input will affect people in the future, many people that you will never even know. Never give up on your dreams. Be aware that you'll sometimes fail. Get up and try again. Remember other people at all times, and remember, each and every one of you can make a difference to the lives of others. Take care of yourselves, and congratulations once again.